Namaste children. I am here with your third part of the first chapter of history, the French Revolution. In my second class, I stopped at the point that France became a constitutional monarchy. Today we will start from the next part. In our previous class, we discussed that France became a constitutional monarchy in 1791 when the National Assembly drafted the constitution and Louis XVI accepted the constitution. After that, the rulers of the France neighboring countries were very much worried about the development in France. They wanted to send their troops and they wanted to attack France because if France will have a republic type of government, then it will be a threat for the neighboring monarchies. So they made the plan to send a troop. But before that time, the National Assembly could come to know about their plan and they declared war against Prussia and Austria, and they were defeated as they were unprepared for that attack. As a large section of the people were very much reluctant to carry the revolution further as they did not get any political rights in 1791. People used to discuss government policies and their own plan of action in different political clubs. One such club was the Jacobin clubs. The members of the Jacobin clubs belongs mainly to the lesser prosperous section of the society, that is, of the third estate. They include shopkeepers, artisans, cooks, shoemakers, watchmakers, printers, servants, and daily wage earners. Their leader was Maximilien Robespierre. On 10th of August 1792, the Jacobins attacked the royal palace at Tuileries with large number of Parisians. They killed the king's guards and held the king himself as hostage for several hours. Later, the assembly voted to imprison the royal family. The elections were held in August 1792. In that elections, the men above 21 years of age were allowed to vote. The newly elected assembly was called the Conventions. The convention abolished the monarchy and declared France a republic on 21st September 1792. Louis XVI was sentenced to death on 21st June 1793. He was executed publicly. His wife, Maria Antonia, also had the same fate afterwards. I told you, children, the Jacobin Club, one of the prosperous political club, its leader was Maximilien Robespierre. He ruled from 1793 to 1794, and his period in the pages of history was known as the Reign of Terror. Now there is a big question why it is known as Reign of Terror. If you will see the work of Robespierre, you will find he maintained all the policies of French Revolution, that equality, providing equality, liberty and fraternity. He made meat and bread prices made less. Peasants were forced to transport their grains to the cities. The use of expensive white flour was forbidden. Equality was also sought to be practiced throughout form of speech and addresses. Instead of sir and madam, the people came to be known as citizens. But even then, Robespierre's his method of punishment to the enemies were very severe. He, through a system of guillotine, he used to give punishment to his people. You see, look at the picture. That was the device which was invented by Dr. Guillotine, and this method was known as the method of guillotine, where two poles were there and a blade with which a person is beheaded. The people of the members of the Jacobin clubs were also not happy with the policy of Robespierre, and they wanted to bring some kind of changes. Finally, Robespierre also had to face the same punishment. He was convicted by a court in July 1794. He was arrested. On the next day, he was sent to guillotine. After the fall of the Jacobins came the wealthier middle class. Now the power was in their hand. They introduced a new constitution which provided for 2 elected legislative council. They thought that instead of concentration of power in one hand, the power should be distributed in a directory where each executive will work and there will be 5 members. However, the directors often clash with the legislative councils, who then sought to dismiss them. That means they never used to come on same unanimous decision, and because of that there was political instability. In the directory, no one used to listen to the other, and as a result, it gave rise to Napoleon Bonaparte, regarding whom we will discuss later on. French Revolution, which lasted for nearly 10 years, brought a lot of changes in the life of people. Women were also not left behind of these changes. From the very beginning, women were active participants in the event which brought so many important changes in French society. In order to discuss and voice their interest, women started their own political clubs and newspapers. About 60 women clubs came up in different French cities, but the most prominent was the Society of Revolutionary and Republican Women. Most women did not have access to education or job training. Only daughters of nobles or wealthiest members of their third estate could study at a convent, after which their family arranged a marriage for them. They don't have a say over that. The demand of the women clubs, they demanded for political right, they wanted the vote and all. But women's struggle for equal political rights continued. They were not given political rights, but some impact of participation of women in revolution, their protest, the revolutionary government brought certain changes in the life of women. Together with the creation of state schools, schooling was made compulsory for all girls. Marriage was made into a contract entered into freely and registered under civil law. Women could not now train for jobs. They could become artists or they can run small business. However, in France, after lots of struggle, women finally got the voting right only in 1946. The most striking feature of French Revolution was the abolition of slavery. Children during those days, as the European powers, they had their colonies in Africa or in the Caribbean islands. The European people, they don't want to go to unknown places and they don't want to work in those unfamiliar areas. But to work in different fields, in different plantation industries, they need workers. So they used to take African slaves from different parts, to different parts of Europe and America to work in the plantation industry. The Frenchman also needed to work for workers for her colony, as the French merchant used to sail from the port of Bordeaux and Nantes to the African coast, and then there was a triangular slave trade. And this slave trade became very prominent in the 17th century. Throughout the 18th century, there was little criticism of slavery in France as the National Assembly fight for the right of man, then how they can French colonies can supply the slaves. Finally, in 1848, slavery was abolished in French colonies and triangular slave trade came to an end. Children, while talking about the rule of the directors, I mentioned about Napoleon Bonaparte. Who was he? He was a military dictator who wanted to rule whole over world, and to fulfill his dream in 1804, he crowned himself as the Emperor of France. He wanted to occupy the whole area. For that, he himself saw as a moderator of Europe. He introduced many laws such as the protection of private properties and a uniform system of weight and measures provided by the decimal system. Many people saw Napoleon as a liberator who would bring freedom for the people. But soon his army came to be viewed everywhere as invader force. The dream that the people thought that unstable government in France after the abolition of monarchy, the Convention, the Jacobins, and the rule of directors, as they could not provide political stability, Frenchmen thought that Napoleon will bring that stability. But here also he could not do so. He was very badly defeated at the Battle of Waterloo. But even after his defeat, ideas of Napoleon on liberty and modern laws continued to spread in other parts of Europe. Thus, we have come to the end of this first chapter, the French Revolution. In the concluding part, I want to tell you that the French Revolution was one of the most important landmark in the history of Europe as well as the world. It ended the monarchical system in France. The slogan of French Revolution, equality, liberty, and fraternity, became important ideas of the new era. It spread revolutionary ideas across Europe and other parts of the world. The feudal system which existed in Europe came to an end as it led to the rise of nationalism. People started thinking about their existence, that they need a nation and they need a stable government in that nation. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, the famous social reformer, and the Tipu Sultan, they were two inspiring persons who wanted to put their ideas of French Revolution in India. Though French Revolution, it is called a revolution because it brought total transformation in the existing system of government. In 1789, before 1789, system was different. After 1789, there was total transformation. It affected political system, it affected the economic system, it affected the social system of France. That's why it is a revolution. This revolution inspired many. Still, people get inspiration from French Revolution, but we have to say that immediately during the revolutionary period, the French Revolution could not establish a stable government in France, maybe because of lack of experience, as from 12th century to 1789, France was ruled by the greatest Bourbon dynasty. As they were ruled by a dynasty, so the common people did not have the concept of how to run a government. But with the passing of time, French Revolution, impact of French Revolution can be seen in France, and France will lead the world as the forerunner of nation state of the world. Thank you.